Can you hear me now? Are you? Yay. Okay. Well, we're just going to start from here then. I'm going to restart what I was saying because I can always go back and edit out those first couple of minutes. So we're just going to start as though this is where I really was starting. Thank you, little lioness, for letting me know that that wasn't working. I appreciate you very much. Okay. So in regards to what I was trying to say, first of all, I always do a little bit of a heads up about the space, creating sacred space, because this happens to be a combination of nostalgic things I've been collecting. Hi, honey, that I've been collecting for, decades, actually. These are sacred things to me. They wouldn't be as sacred to other people, most of these things, but they're sacred to me. So I love them for sacred space. But I don't need these for sacred space. I need me for sacred space. I need my heart. I need my intentions. That's all that I need for sacred space. Now, fire is wonderful for sacred space, whether it's like a campfire or whether it's a candle lit to be symbolic of the transmutation, the transmutative forces of fire. That's wonderful. Anything that creates a special essence for you is a great way of creating sacred space. But ultimately, what you need is your heart, your divine inner light. That's all you need to create sacred space. The rest of it is just added gravity for whatever purposes you're trying to summon, hopefully light. Okay. So now in regards to divine goddesses, we're going to spend just a moment talking about divine goddesses while we see if anybody else is going to pop in, and then we will start our reading. So any one of the divine goddesses are going to have fractal aspects of one another. We all have fractal aspects of one another and of the divine goddesses. So they are separate, but they are also connected, deeply, intricately connected, and can never be not connected from one another. They're always connected, but they also have different things that they're known for. So for example, Isis, she's a very passionate goddess. She's a very fierce goddess. She loves fiercely. She teaches fiercely. I'm sure she has her moments of real, genuine softness and compassion, but those are probably not the things that she's most well known for. Whereas Kuan Yin, she's very known for her compassion. She's known for mercy. She's known for a certain level of softness. She reminds me a lot of the Virgin Mary, of the Divine Mother Mary. When you think of the two Marys, Mary Magdalene, who was also divine and was, in my very, very well researched opinion, Yeshua's, Jesus's divine partner. Mary Magdalene was requiring of a different kind of divine feminine strength in her time than the Divine Mother was, and both of them brought a very unique and very important level of divine. It's not working. Are you guys saying it's not working? Will someone respond to me? So you can hear me now? Okay. Well, I'm going to keep going, and we'll just go from there. Hopefully that will work. Okay. So when it comes to the two Marys, both of them brought different strengths to the table, and both of those strengths were very important strengths for the times. They were very abnormal to have that level of divine feminine strength for the time period that they were alive. And to be completely honest, even Jesus himself was a beautiful example of the divine feminine. He had a level of softness within him that was extraordinarily abnormal for men of the time. For masculines of the time, he was an extraordinary example of the divine feminine. He was almost a better example of the divine feminine, whereas Mary Magdalene was an example of the divine masculine. Hold on one second. My tiny human is coming to the door. Can I play with Corbin? Yes, you can play with Corbin. Lucas, please go play with Corbin. Love you. Love you. My son is gonna go play with his friend next door. So me being that's me being mother for today for right now. It's Saturday. He's gonna go play with his best friend. So in any case, in regards to the divine masculine and the divine feminine, I actually would say that Jesus was a little bit more of an example of the divine feminine. And Mary Magdalene was a little bit more of an example of the divine masculine. She required a level of feminine strength that was extraordinarily abnormal for her time period. However, the Mother Mary was definitely an example of the yin energy, the Kuan Yin. The yin energy is the feminine energy. Kuan Yin is the mother of the divine feminine, so to speak. She is the embodiment of compassion. She's extremely powerful, don't get me wrong, but she uses softness as a form of strength. So now in the yin yang electromagnetic scale, the yin is the magnetic energy and the yang is the yang, whatever, is the electric energy, the masculine energy. And so she is representative of those divine feminine aspects. So we're going to pull out, as far as crystals today, we're going to pull, I love this one. I'm going to show you guys. This is a rose quartz that's actually a Merkaba. I love, love, love this one. This is very sacred around here. And rose quartz is a heart chakra quartz. It's very, very divine feminine. The color pink is a very, very healing color. It always reminds me of Kuan Yin personally. This one is a crystal skull, but that one is actually an amethyst. And so that's also a very feminine crystal. This is a third eye chakra. Well, really any of the upper chakras, but very often used as a third eye chakra, a way of helping to create a sense of clarity so you can open that third eye. And then clear quartz, maybe a Lemurian quartz too. So these are just very powerful overall cleansing crystals. They will neutralize they don't just neutralize energy, they dispel it, they push it away. There's no negative energy that is able to stay in the presence of a clear quartz. You can actually put it around all of your other crystals. This is a very effective way of cleansing your crystals because some crystals aren't really good to submerge in like salt water and things like that. This is just a really healthy way to cleanse an energy of a space or other crystals or other things anytime, because basically I want to grow up and be a clear crystal. A clear quartz crystal or a diamond. I am a diamond actually, but that's what they do. They dispel negative energy. They just radiate positivity and dispel negative energy. So those are great ones for this particular reading. Now these are some of my favorite cards I've ever had, and I actually gave a set that I had for a long time to someone who I really, really, really loved. And unfortunately, that person passed along. But that was someone who I gave this to because he actually reminded me. For whatever reason, he always reminded me of Kuan Yin, and that was one that I felt like would really resonate with him personally. And so, after he passed, it actually was important that I have these also. And today was a very Kuan Yin day. I got these, by the way, at Sacred Energy Healing Center. If anybody lives in Salt Lake, that is such a wonderful, magnificent, magical place. They really encourage people who are on a spiritual path to grow and come into their own. I've got a few sets of oracle or tarot decks there, and I really heavily recommend, even if you don't think you're ever going to be a tarot reader someday, or even if you don't think that you ever want to be an oracle reader or anything, just to have a set that resonates with you. I love having my own set. Even though we're doing this reading today, I want to honor the fact that there are oracle readers and tarot readers out there that are far more naturally attuned to this, or they've worked on it far more. There are definitely more attuned tarot or oracle readers out there, and you may even be one someday. And I look forward to getting your readings. But I'd love to share with you one of some guidance from one of my favorite guides, because she is just an embodiment of love and kindness. She's very, very strong and firm in her convictions. She knows who she is, but there's a level of softness to her that is really admirable, in my opinion. So All right. So we're going to do a 4-card reading, which is actually why I chose to do the 4 shuffles. I like to kind of keep things synchronistic. This one is called the Lotus reading. It's basically a representative of a lotus flower. So we're going to do this one as a collective consciousness reading. So the first card, which is going to tell us what is the matter at hand, is really going to be the ultimate question rather than having one person asking a question. So the first card is these cards are so pretty. You guys have probably, if you've watched any of my readings before, you've probably seen me share Alana Fairchild's tarot cards. I have other tarot cards, but I just love her so much. They always touch my heart, and her artists are exquisite. This is just so beautiful. So Blossoms of the Star Dancer. So Blossoms of the Star Dancer, when I was just talking about the fact that Kuan Yin is the yin energy, she's the magnetic energy of the universe. She's representative of the yin energy, and the yin energy does not force things to happen. That is a very masculine way. That's a very yang way of doing things, to try to do things with force. Magnetism allows things to come to it. So what this one would tell me at this point is that, early on in human progression, there was a certain level of force that was really felt that was necessary in order to achieve things. And what we're coming to realize as we're evolving as a humanity is that there's a level of softness. There's a level of strength that comes in surrender. There's a level of added mastery and manifestation that comes from allowing things to magnetically come into your force field. Becoming a master allower is a very, very powerful manifestor thing to do. And even though typically the divine masculine is the manifesting force, it requires the divine feminine imagination, the inspiration, the creativity. They both are necessary to be able to become an ultimate manifester. But when you try to force something to happen, it often kind of repels it or pushes it away. At the very least, like, you cannot stop evolution. So even if you're trying to force your evolution, even if you're trying to force your vibration higher, even if you're trying to force your situation to work out, even if you're trying to whatever, I mean, you can't really stop things from progressing forward, because that's how evolution works, but you can definitely slow down your progress. When you exert too much force in an equation, you are not allowing for the law of ebb and flow to be in balance. And the flow is the divine yin. It is the divine magnetism. It's the allowing after you've put forth whatever the ebb is, it's allowing the flow then to come back. So Blossoms of the Sky Dancer, this to me would be saying that there is actually something that's being manifested for you, within you, whether you already know this and you're creating that in an active and like very visceral way, or whether you're starting to create something astrally and you're not aware that you're doing this while you're asleep, or that you've been doing this your entire life, that you've been preparing something for your entire life. This one would be for me just letting the collective know that that whoever this is resonating for, whoever feels vibrationally aligned with this reading, that there is something at this point in time that is blossoming within you, and that there's a certain aspect of magnetism, of allowing those things to come into fruition in your life. So obviously you can't just sit back and watch your dreams happen, but you also have to know that there's a time and a place for the ebb, and there's a time and a place for the flow. And the flow is magnetic. When you once you come into that place, you do actually allow for things to magnetically become drawn into your force field, and that's a far more feminine way. So in any case, hi Constance, thank you for showing up. I just saw your hello down there. So that the first card again is representative of kind of the matter at hand here for the group consciousness. The second card in the Lotus reading is representative of like how we can grow into that, how we can achieve that magnetism, I suppose. So Okay, so sisters of the star blossoms. Now, this is a direct reference to the Pleiades. Now, for any of you who are familiar with the Pleiades, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous cluster of stars in the sky, the seven sisters. And these seven sisters, first of all, for those who have Pleiadian star origins and resonate heavily with Pleiadians, you definitely know that they just embody unconditional love. I mean, that is definitely a very, very, very loving star system that just rains down a ton of light on humanity all the time. But in addition to that, the Pleiades, they are seven individual stars. They don't need each other to be a star. Each one of them individually is a beaming, beautiful, exquisite star. But there are also stars that are smart enough to know that they shine brighter together. So they are each individuals who understand that being a sovereign being is extremely important. They don't think that they need the other one to survive or still be a star. They don't need that to be able to come into their next level of evolution. So they are all completely whole and honoring of their own goddessness, godness, whether you're whichever one you resonate with, because this is not necessarily just about sisters, brothers. It just happens to be talking about a star system that is known as the Seven Sisters. But for male or female, this is about recognizing your own sovereign being, that you are 100% complete and whole within yourself. And we are tribal beings. We are here to help each other rise. We are here to be a team and to serve one another. When we are serving one another, we are literally in the service of ourselves. And when we allow others to serve us, we are in the service of them. This is not just about being in the service of others. It's also about knowing when to receive service from others. Sometimes you are being the gifter. Artemis, when you were saying, I don't know if you're on here yet, you might not be on here. When we were talking earlier, I was talking to a sister named Artemis. She lives in Greece. And she was asking me a question that I'll get to at the end of this. I might even do that as a separate live reading or a separate live question because it's its own thing in and of itself. But she was asking me if it was trouble to ask me these questions. I was saying, you were helping me with my divine purpose. And then in teaching you what I know, then you will be able to come into what you know and be able to teach me the same. And so it's when you allow other people to serve you, you are actually doing a service for them, and you are also receiving a service, which is a really beautiful habit to get into the habit of occasionally. For those of us empaths, often we really had an easier time serving others than accepting it. But understand that you are also in the service of others when you allow them to serve you. It is a gift to them. Also, you are a shining star all by yourself. You're a goddess, you're a god, you are really just a magnificent, radiant being. But you still radiate more when you're with other people who are loving beings too. So there is a real huge benefit to meditating with others, not necessarily in their presence, but intentionally with your heart and with your mind, doing things with the tribe, sharing information with friends, helping each other put together the big magic or master puzzle. When people come together to pray for someone who is in need of some sort, that is magnificently more powerful than just one person. And that is not in any way to downplay how important or powerful one person is. Every one person is magnificently powerful, but we still shine brighter. 7 stars shine brighter as a cluster than one magnificently bright star anyway. So I would call this a balance card of knowing that we shine brighter as a team, but also recognizing you are so magnificently powerful in and of yourself that you are complete. You have everything that you need within you to design and develop and create universes. You are your own universe, and you shine brighter with others too. Both of those things. Okay, so the third card I had one of them dropping. I don't know which one it was. Actually, I think that's the fourth card. Okay. So the third card, this one is higher guidance. So this is higher guidance is going to be anything that you're directly from your higher self. So however this resonates for you, bamboo moon, whoever may vibrate to this video later, bamboo moon is representative of higher guidance in this one. And your higher guidance, or the bamboo moon, is one that's all about divine timing. So that's a good one right now. There's a lot going on. Well, divine timing, the reason that they would use bamboo moon, or Kuan Yin would use bamboo as a way of discussing divine timing, is because bamboo has a really unique quality. It will be planted and it'll look for years and years like it's not growing at all, or at least like it's growing very, very little, just a little tiny bit for like 3, 4, 5 years. But what's actually happening is that very powerful roots are shooting down into the earth. They're becoming very, very powerfully rooted. So what's being manifested is under the surface. It might not appear outwardly yet, but that doesn't mean it's not happening. That doesn't mean it's not existing. That doesn't mean that the bamboo isn't smart enough to understand divine timing. Okay? So this one, I would say, from your higher guidance, is to know that even if outwardly it may not exactly look how you want it to look in your life right this moment, you are manifesting your dreams. They are manifesting under the surface, but that doesn't mean they're not manifesting. They are manifesting magnificently. The more intention you put into it, the faster they grow. Oh, good to hear that, Selma. Thank you so much. So, and Constance, yes, I can pull a card for you another time. I'm doing a group consciousness one right now. So this one is specific higher guidance. This card reading in general is the heart of it. The blossoming sky dancer was about allowing the universe to bring that into your life, which you have already been creating and manifesting. So obviously this one is like really spot on, right on for that one. You are creating things under the surface, and maybe some of you already have these incredible things that are starting to shoot up, but even so, what's happening beneath the surface is monumental compared to what's happening above the surface. So just be prepared for the fact that when that bamboo is ready to shoot, it is going to shoot straight up so fast you won't even know what to do with yourself, as long as your intentions are heart intentions. As long as your intentions are based right in your heart space, you're nourishing it with the right kind of light, the roots will be rooted properly. And trust me that when that bamboo shoots up, it is going to shoot magnificently in a way that you're going to understand everything you've ever gone through. Everything that you've ever been through is going to make perfect sense. You're going to say, wow, I cannot believe what faith I had in myself. I understand now why I chose the path that I did, because I was creating these roots for this outcome. And I really pray for you for that outcome. I pray for all of us for that outcome. All right. And then the fourth in our Lotus reading today, I don't know. Artemis, you are here. Yay. I'm so excited. So Artemis, I was just telling everyone, I'm going to come back to your question that you asked me earlier. I'm going to do a separate live reading right immediately after this. So if you guys can all hang on for like 2 minutes, because I want them to be separate things. But I will answer that, and I'll tell you all in a second what it was that she asked. The fourth card in our reading is, the future. What's going to come of this, or what's the outcome, the higher outcome, highest outcome. Gosh, she's so pretty. So this is Tai Chi rising. Oh my God, look how beautiful she is. So Tai Chi rising. Chi is very similar to, if not the same, depending on how you want to define it, to Kundalini or Prana or life force, the cosmic cheesecloth. Okay, there's a lot of different ways different cultures explain very similar concepts. They might not be exactly the same concepts, but ultimately they're all kind of facets of the same jewel. So Tai Chi rising would be an indicator that your vibration is rising, your Kundalini is rising, you are going from a lower vibration within dimensions to a higher vibration within dimensions. Now we're going to talk about a couple reasons why this would happen. One is you can't avoid it right now. We're on planet Earth, and planet Earth is having an ascension. Planet Earth has so much light raining down on it, plasmic light, photonic light, love and light coming from so many different places that ultimately you really just can't avoid it. If you're on planet Earth, your vibration is rising. However, it's a lot less difficult when you're aware of it and you're not resisting it. So for many people who are resonating with this message, or who will resonate with this message down the line, who vibrate towards it, you are on a path towards actively increasing your vibration. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that it's easy. As a matter of fact, we all know that the purge of the darker or denser energies is often really, 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 really challenging. However, this card is an indicator that it's working. This card is a confirmation, a validation that your vibration is indeed rising. That, and I would dare say that most anyone that is actually watching this, it's not just rising because planet Earth's is rising, because most people that aren't vibrationally trying to raise their vibration and help others raise their vibration as well probably stopped this video a few minutes ago. I doubt they made it to card 4. So my guess is that almost anyone who is on here right now is actively seeking a higher vibration. You're not only doing a ridiculously huge service for yourself, you're doing a ridiculously huge service for all of planet Earth. As above, so below. We are so fractally connected to one another that we cannot not be connected. We are crystals that are raising the planet, the planetary vibration, like a crystal grid. And this is, to me, the perfect validation that it's working. I know it doesn't always appear that way on the outside, but we also know that what we are experiencing internally, what we're experiencing within our consciousness, what we're experiencing within our hearts and souls, and the raising of our vibrations, that's the reality. The reality is not necessarily what we're looking at with our eyes right now. That's a school. It's an educational system that's designed magnificently to help attune us into a higher state of being, but it is illusionary. What we're experiencing internally, the raising of our vibrations, that's the reality. And this is a validation that it's indeed working. So I hope that this was a good reading for all of you. I feel like in a lot of ways, I really desperately needed this one today for me too. So I want to thank you all for being here for that. Artemis asked me earlier when we were talking privately how to hear your higher self talking to you, or how to know when it's your higher self talking to you as opposed to just your mind talking to itself or going back and forth. So because I'd like people to be able to watch these separately and not have it be like an hour-long video, I'm going to pop off and I'm going to re-log back in to do, oh, thank you, Constance. I'm so glad. You're welcome, you guys, very much. I hope that you'll pop back on to hear about connecting with your higher self. But if not, that's totally fine, Artemis. I hope at the very least you're going to pop back on so that we can talk about it. But either way, I love you all. I hope that this was really a good learning opportunity for you. If you don't already have a relationship with Kuan Yin, I really want to highly encourage you to develop one. She is such a great teacher. She is such a loving being. It's almost impossible to ask for her essence or her presence to be near you and not feel a sense of love and light and peace. And she is a divine mother. She is the mother who will just cuddle and hold you and make you feel better, but she's also an excellent teacher. So I encourage you to develop a relationship with her and to continue developing a relationship with your freaking awesome divine self. I'll see you guys all on the live stream here in a second. Anyone who wants to pop on. Bye.